just in case. Hey, welcome in, everybody. We have a conditional threat for a supercell to go up today here, just to the south of Amarillo, Texas. If a storm can go up and sustain itself, it's going to have the chance to produce strong, intense, or even violent tornadoes. Now, the odds of a storm sustaining itself are probably low to middle. So I would say anywhere between 30 and 50%. So there's kind of a little bit of a better chance that something doesn't sustain itself. There's a small chance that if it does sustain itself, it could go crazy. And you're looking at a storm going up right now, and it looks like we finally have a supercell going up. So it will be interesting to see if this guy ends up going big or not. Um, if this thing goes big, it is going to go big. The environment here south east of Amarillo is one of the best environments I've seen out here in the Texas Panhandle. You can see how fast these clouds are moving from left to right. That low-level jet is kicking in, and you can see the anvil. Look at the anvil going up. That's the updraft, and then you got the anvil going up there. So, uh, like I said, I think there's probably about a 30 to 50% chance here. I'm not really loving the odds, but I also don't necessarily think it's a super low chance. So I think we have an okay chance here. If you're just now tuning in, what's up, guys? A lot of people went up to Kansas, my location, southeast of Amarillo, Texas. A lot of people went up to Kansas, and it looks like stuff up there is not going to happen. Stuff will happen all the way into northern Nebraska, all the way into the Nebraska Sandhills. So really, kind of the two targets are down here in the Amarillo area, Amarillo to Lubbock, or up in Nebraska. Those are really the two targets here. So regardless, no matter what these storms do, I'm ending the stream by 10:15 or so, because I have a couple homework assignments I have to get done by 11. So hopefully our storm doesn't go longer than 10:15. Like I said, this thing could go up and die in an hour. I think this storm might not live. I don't know if it has any help. We're live just in case, guys. So just know that's why the title says possible, because there's a very decent chance that nothing happens. There's a very decent chance nothing happens here. So we just got our first blip of lightning. So this is what I'm gonna. This is our storm down here. It just fired off the dry line. So this is what we're gonna need. We're gonna need this storm to get some help, and it doesn't look like it has much help. So we're gonna need like maybe some cumulus clouds to stream into the storm from the south and the east and make this updraft bigger. This updraft has to get a lot bigger. If this updraft stays this size, it's not going to live. It will die. And if this updraft doesn't go, there's still a chance another one develops off the dry line too. But after about 7 o'clock, we're not going to have much of a chance. So something has to go in the next hour, in my opinion, or else it's not going to go at all. So we may stream for the next hour, and then by 7 o'clock realize, hey, this ain't happening up here, which is, there's a decent chance it's going to happen, but there's that small chance here that something just goes big. I noticed we just got a lot of low-level clouds. It was clear sunny about 10, 15, 20 minutes ago. I noticed we just got a lot of low-level clouds in front of the storm. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think, if anything, these clouds will kind of feed into the storm and help it possibly grow. Although, I'm not for sure on that. That could just be me hoping here. But we're going to need some clusters of storms. We're going to need multiple storms to kind of cluster up. So, like I said, chat, this isn't a 100%. This is a boom or a bust. There's a very fine line between a strong tornado and then nothing. There's a very fine line there between a strong tornado and nothing happening at all. So I'm going to go into chat. I'm going to answer some questions that you guys have. Thank God someone stayed in Texas. There's a few other people down here in Texas. If you're new to the stream, make sure to like the stream. Almost at 25 likes already. Make sure to like the stream and subscribe. Yesterday, we were the only chasers on that. We were the only live chasers on that storm in Oklahoma that produced a tornado. There was a beautiful tornado down to the north of Durant, Oklahoma yesterday, and we were all over that one. So it's just kind of a wait and see with this storm, if it's going to do anything or not. I don't know. This storm gives me vibes of not doing it. So I don't want to say that for certain, but I kind of get those vibes right now. So, but this storm is. So I will say this as well. Everything has continually looked better and better and better. Everything's continually looked better. So things right now look better than they did 30 minutes ago. Things 30 minutes ago looked better than they did an hour before that, and so on and so forth. We didn't even have really any convective initiation attempts until about an hour ago. So we still have some time here, but that time is waning. Uh, we'll see, guys. It looks like we have a base on our storm. So, like, we have a legit base on the storm. And there's some low-level clouds streaming into there's some low-level clouds streaming into the storm. So this thing is going to have a shot. Models, some models initiated stuff, some models didn't initiate stuff. They were kind of 50-50, a little bit split there. I'm going to sit up here. I'm in Claude, Texas, just to the east of Amarillo. I'm going to sit here in Claude because I have a good highway to the southeast here. I have a good highway to the southeast here. So we're going to sit here in Claude. If I had a choice, I would have been in northern Nebraska today. But I didn't really have a choice, so we ended up down in. But actually, Texas. Texas was kind of my next closest thing that I really like. So there's our storm right there. We're gonna have our base in the distance. So we're sitting out ahead of this thing. This thing is not going to do anything quite yet. So we're just kind of sitting out ahead of it. If this storm doesn't do it, another one will have a shot. We have a base on our storm. It's going to be right over that gas station. How about this? How about I get to a better spot outside of town and we sit and watch? The next 20 to 30 minutes are going to be absolutely crucial here. We're gonna find out here pretty soon if things are going to go or not. Right now, I'm leaning towards no, guys. I'm leaning towards no, but there's a chance, and this setup will work every few times. Every few times, this kind of setup will work, and it'll go crazy. So all these like low-level clouds that kind of formed out ahead of our supercell are good because that's going to help widen the supercell and help it get going. But we might just have too much. We might just have too much dry air here. There just might be just a little bit too much dry air out here in the panhandle of Texas. So let me go a little bit. Hopefully I don't lose service or anything. I have okay service right now. Let me go just outside of town here. I'm gonna go drive just outside of town here and wait for a minute so we can get a view of this thing. We have really high moisture content for this area of the country. So a lot of times, anytime you have moisture like this up in Texas, you can really easily get tornadoes if you have storms because we're up a little bit higher in elevation. We're probably close to 3,500 feet maybe, or maybe 3,000 feet out here, just to the east of Amarillo. In 2.1 miles, turn left so, County Road 17. Okay, this storm looks like it's dying, I think. I think this storm is definitely dying. That's not good for us. I think this storm is dying now. Man. Not great news for us, but we'll see. We got some time here. We're gonna see. And even if this storm doesn't do it, there could be another one that comes off, but I'm not sure. This is a great environment for tornadoes. So it'd be a shame to waste such a great environment with no tornadoes. Although, of course, I don't want any tornadoes to impact any of these communities out here. But the good thing is, this is one of the most rural areas in the country. So it's one of the most rural areas in Texas. So behind this storm, there's more attempts going up. There's more attempts going up. But I think it's got to be this one or bust. It's got to be this storm or bust. This storm has to root. This storm has to be able to root and start pulling in inflow and start pulling in some of those clouds. So we're going to turn on to this road up here. We're just going to watch this thing. And guys, we're living on a prayer, that's for sure. I know you guys have heard that song, Living on a Prayer. That's what we're doing right now, is living on a prayer. Because this is certainly a prayer. Like I told you guys, about a 30 to 50% chance that something goes. Okay, so there's our storm right there. And this is a really small base. So that base might just be a little bit too small. Man, that base might just be a little bit too small. That base is going to be just a little bit small, guys. It needs a lot of help. And you can see way off into the distance there, right there, way off into the distance, there's more attempts. Base, it looks too skinny to me. Well, this might not be our base. Hold on, this might be a different storm. I think this is a different storm right here. Or other, wait, am I tripping or no? I don't know. I think this should be it. I might be tripping, maybe. Yeah, this should be it right here. Okay, we might have two storms going up here. Hold on. Yeah, this one might be a different storm. Our base might be just Well, I'm not sure, guys. It's hard to tell. Our base might be further south. There might just be too much dry air. There might just be too much dry air. I know I'm skeptical. I know I'm very skeptical, guys, but I just am very skeptical because I've seen this movie happen 100 times before, where it looks like stuff could go, and then there's just too much dry air. But I'm not liking the prospects right now. But we're here just in case. We're here just in case. Part of storm chasing is just getting out there and doing it. You know, that's a part of chasing. It's just getting out there and doing it. We're gonna watch just in case here. Just in case, guys. There's a dude. That storm is dying. That storm is gonna be dead in a minute. There's too much dry air around it. The storm is gonna die. Ooh, that storm is looks done. There's more. There's more. There's more storms that could develop, but like I said, after about 7 o'clock, if nothing's happening, it's gonna be cooked. Now we're starting to lose some of that daytime heating too. Yeah, that storm is gonna die, isn't it? Dang. See how skinny that updraft is? That's way too skinny. That's way too skinny of an updraft. If that updraft was about double the size, or especially triple the size, then I would be very confident in it. But that updraft just isn't big enough. So because the updraft is skinny, what happens is you get too much dry air around the updraft, and then that causes the updraft to choke itself out. So there's too much dry air. The updraft doesn't quite have enough forcing. It's going to choke itself out. Um, Too little. Too if the updraft needs mass, so there's just not enough mass in my opinion. And if an updraft ever looks like this, it never comes back. It's always done. It'll never come back. So tough situation. Tough situation out here. Yeah, these storms are dead. These storms are dead, guys. We're gonna give it some more time, but these storms are basically done. There's a severe warning down towards Lubbock for wind. Some outflow dominant wind storms down by Lubbock. Really bright there. And see, there goes our low level clouds. Look at this thing. It's dead. It's dying. It's shrinking. It's shriveling up. Oh man. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go sit and see for a little bit longer, just in case, guys. Yeah, I don't think these guys are gonna do it, man. Like that updraft, you can see it has a lot of upward strength, but it just ain't gonna do it, man. All right, well, we're gonna sit here and wait for just a little bit longer, just to kind of make sure. You never know. You never know. There's still a very small chance. But instead of 30 to 50%, I'm going more towards like 10 to 25, maybe 25% chance at the highest, but probably like a 10% chance that these go. Uh, it's trying to reinvigorate, but it's having a tough time. Just too much dry air. Too much dry air, guys. We're so close yet so far to getting something big. Hey guys, what's up? Stairway to Heaven. Where am I going tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. Probably not going up to Iowa or Minnesota or Wisconsin. I'm not thinking that that's going to be the case. So I'm not thinking that's going to be the case. Oh, there goes our skinny little storm off into the sunset. All right, so now we have to see if any more updrafts are going to go up. So disappointing, chat. So disappointing. All right, well, we're going to wait another 30 minutes and just see what happens. But this is looking like it's going to be done. So my plan here is for tomorrow to my plan is tomorrow to chase somewhere down here towards Texas. See how that updraft, see how there's like blue sky and see how that's split apart. There's one, two. It's yeah. So chat. No, I want to be up in Nebraska so bad, but there's just way too far to. I could never get up to, especially after chasing yesterday into Oklahoma. There's no way I was ever getting up into Nebraska. So there's no way I was ever going to get up into Nebraska. There's a storm right there. That one is failing as well. So if anything's gonna happen in the next, oh, and it's gone. It's gone and it's gone and it's gone. And it's over, just like that. But hey, stay with me for just a little bit longer and we'll see. We'll see just in case. We'll see just in case, guys. It's time to start looking for towards tomorrow, though. We have a pretty storm right there going off into the sunset there. Wait, did lightning just come out of that? Did I just see the lightning come out of that? That's kind of wild. I think we just saw lightning maybe come out of that one right there. There's a decent bit of chasers down here, so I'm not excited to see what's going to happen in Nebraska in about an hour or two. I might just hop off of the socials for the day here and not 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 let myself see what happens in Nebraska. Now a lot of the chasers aren't up there. A lot of the chasers didn't make it up there all the way. They stayed in Kansas, which I didn't really get. I never really saw that one happening. So um, whew, this is a rough one, chat. Chat, this is a rough one right here. It's a pretty rough one right here. A lot of people are now blasting up to Nebraska, trying to get up there. For their sake, I hope they do. John McKinney, Freddie McKinney's dad. John McKinney's all over that storm up there. Oh, like I was saying, oh, this thing is cooked, isn't it? Yeah. What do we do now? All right, now it's time to start making arrangements for where I'm gonna be to get in position for tomorrow. I think a good spot would be like maybe Woodward, Oklahoma, or something like that. Something around there. Well, chat. At least I'm gonna get my homework done now. There's no rush to get my homework done after the chase. Now I'm gonna have some time to do it. Man, I thought something was gonna go for a second there. Thought something would go. Hey Ben, what's up, Bill? Maddox, what's up? Yeah, Alexander, there is an attempt and it went away quick. Where am I? Yeah, tomorrow. I was just talking about tomorrow. Maybe like Texas or Oklahoma. I don't really know, guys. I don't really know, y'all. It could also end up being like Kansas. I think some people are sleeping on like central Kansas tomorrow. I'm gonna dive more into tomorrow, but I think some people are sleeping on it a little bit. That storm that we're looking at right there, it's still trying to go up, which is funny to me. It's still trying to go up. Yeah, I mean, that stuff by Lubbock. That stuff by Lubbock could eventually move up into an area that's favorable for stuff, but I feel like that's not gonna happen. Like that almost never works out. So that almost never does it. Sometimes I hate this hobby. Sometimes I hate this hobby, but you gotta go through the busts to you gotta go through the busts to get to the get to the setups that really work out. Sometimes you gotta go through some of these busted chases, and if you chase stuff like there's other times where you have days like today and they go big, and a lot of times they don't. Like I said, probably a 30% chance today was going to go big. Um, a 70% chance it wasn't going to go big. But all right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. Uh, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and giving it a chance. It didn't work out today. Maybe if this setup was like a month later into the season and you had like another 30 or 40 minutes of sunlight, maybe it would have been a little bit different, maybe not. but it just didn't have quite enough today. Just not quite enough. It was so close today, but just not quite enough. So close. So guys, on that note, make sure to tune in tomorrow. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to go up to Iowa to chase. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to go up to Iowa and Minnesota, and rightfully so. It could be a big setup up there. There's even a shot in the dark. I even try to do something like that, but it looks like probably no. I'm probably going to stay down in Kansas, Oklahoma, maybe even like Wichita Falls area, maybe even like Wichita Falls, Texas region could be interesting. Um, but hey, guys, I appreciate it. Uh, there's like a 5% chance of like something still going up. Literally like a 5% chance. If this setup happened another 100 times, maybe not even that. Maybe like a 1% chance. But there's still like the smallest chance something could go up. And if it does, I'll go back live. If it does, I'll go back live. But guys, there's literally like a 1% chance something goes up. So, hey, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. There's always a chance tomorrow does nothing, but hopefully it does something. See you guys tomorrow. Uh, have a nice rest of your